Hi, I'm Dr. Michaela Livingston, and in this video we're going to load and run our gels. So now that your gels are set, you can remove the rubber dams or masking tape. If you find they're sticking or tearing the gel at all, just get a pipette tip and carefully run it along the inside, and then you should be able to easily remove them. Now you just need to place it into the gel tank. Next, pour in your 1 times running buffer. In this case we're using TBE. So first fill the reservoirs. And then carefully start pouring over the gel until it's just immersed. But don't fill it up too much. Don't go past the max fill line here. Also, the more buffer you put in, the longer it will take for your gel to run. Now you can remove the comb. So to do this, just try and hold down the tray as best you can, and firmly but carefully pull out the comb, like so. Sometimes if it gets stuck, you can give it a little bit of a shuggle, but it should come out quite easily. So now it's time to load your samples. So if you haven't done already, mix in some loading dye into your sample by pipetting up and down. This has glycerin in it and will help your sample sink to the bottom of the well. That's because it's more dense than the running buffer. So you should demonstrate this to your students, and what you want to say is just get comfortable and steady. You can rest your elbows on the table and use your other hand to steady the pipette, and then you just want to try and get over the well. If you're finding it hard to see the wells, you can add some coloured tape or coloured paper underneath, and that makes it far easier to see. But you should just put your pipette under the liquid and to the side of the well, not too far in, and just gently release the liquid. But don't go past the first stop. Once you're finished loading your sample, remove the pipette tip from the loading buffer first, and then release the push button. Keep a log sheet next to the gel tank so that students can tell where they've loaded their samples. Be really careful when you're loading to not go too far into the gel, as this can crack it. Don't stand too far away from the gel or hold your tip too far away from the wells, otherwise you might miss the well. And remember, don't release the push button until after you've pulled your tip out of the buffer, otherwise you'll pull the sample back up. Also be really careful that once you have loaded the wells, not to move the gel tank, otherwise the sample will come out the wells. So once all the student samples are loaded, you just need to put the lid on. On this tank, you can't put it on the wrong way, but just be careful that the black electrode goes onto the black end and the red electrode goes onto the red end. And just push that down. Next, just plug your cables in. So the black cable goes into the black socket, red cable into the red socket. Then set your voltage, press mode. The numbers will flash. Set it to what you wish. Then press mode again and you'll be able to set your time. In this case, we just want 20 minutes or so. And then press start. You'll see the voltage counting up and it will stop after 20 minutes. You'll be able to tell when the gel is running because you'll see bubbles coming off of the negative electrode, and also the loading dye will start moving into the gel.